This is going to be on my Google Classroom, so it's a new unit, new activity called cell cycle. Okay, so follow with me. So what is the cell cycle? The cell cycle is a sequence of cell growth and division that occurs in a cell. So basically, remember that host cell that the virus took over? That host cell replicated the viruses. Cell cycle is, how does a host cell replicate itself? Like, how does a cell replicate itself? Because believe it or not, you got one cell with all the stuff in it, the nucleus, ER, Golgi, ribosome, vacuole, all this stuff, and it's got to double everything and divide evenly. We're figuring out what all the steps are today. Stockton, close that. Okay, if a cell cycle is off or the cell doesn't stop at the proper checkpoints, cells are said to have cancer. So who's ever heard of, like they said, wow, that cancer spread quickly, or that was benign, or that was malignant. So there's different forms of cancers, but guys, if a cell can't say, okay, I grow, now I replicate, now I grow, stop, now I divide, if it can't check itself, then it's cancerous. Okay, so look up here. Cells can go into checkpoints. And if there's a checkpoint not working, that's usually when cells get cancer, because the checkpoints are like, okay, you could go, and not checking about the timing or if everything's done. Okay, look at your picture on your worksheet. I know it's really small. I may have to blow this up and give you a copy. So ready? Everybody put your, excuse me. Look up here where the cell cycle begins. What is the only organelle that's on here? Nucleus. Okay, I only had one person say it out loud. Make sure you know it. Nucleus. Two people. 3 people. Nucleus. 4. Okay, everybody knows nucleus. So, guys, yes, all the other things replicate, like the ER Golgi, but the nucleus is the most important thing because our DNA builds us. So we need to be specific about when our DNA replicates. Look up here. In the beginning, we just have a cell and our one nucleus. Up here. Okay, then the cell grows. Y'all, the nucleus is supposed to be the same. Nothing happened with the nucleus. It just grows in size. Okay, it grows in cytoplasm. It grows in all the things inside of it except for the nucleus. Okay. Cell decides whether to continue. So this is a checkpoint. So if something bad is happening, up here, the cell will die and it will restart. That's actually not a bad thing. If your cells understand, oh, I'm not healthy, I need to die, I need to go to GO, we'll talk about it, then that's a good thing. It's the ones that checkpoint said, okay, and then keep on going if there's a mutation. So ready? I start. So here's my start. I grow, checkpoint. Okay, now I have something called S. Say the word synthesis. Synthesize. What do you think the word synthesize means?
Smaller. Make.
To make. Manufacture, produce, synthesize. Lydia, put that away. Away. Okay, so guys, growing is easy. You're just growing in size. You're replicating all the cytoplasm and all the stuff inside. But synthesis has to do with DNA. This is where you're replicating your DNA. Every piece replicates, okay? So if you scratch your skin, new skin cells are going to come up that look exactly like the old ones, right? Yes. Because when they replicate, they make sure that all the DNA replicates and all the instructions are passed down. Do you want to scratch yourself and then have new cells come up and then give you white cells? No. Or how about this? Do you want your eyes to stop making blue or brown or green and all of a sudden start making a different color? No.
If it's pink, yeah.
It's programmed to copy exactly. So ready? Let's start from the beginning again. Grow, checkpoint. Did I grow? Yes. Replicate or synthesize DNA, synthesize DNA, synthesize DNA, synthesize DNA, checkpoint. Did I synthesize enough? Yes. Finish, grow, growing. And this little part here is called mitosis. This is where they divide. Now, y'all, think about why we would do this. First of all, can we replicate all of our DNA without growing first to give it space?
No.
So, if you needed to make another brain, could you just make another brain and fit it in your head with your brain right now?
No.
You would have to get bigger to make space for that brain, right? So guys, it makes sense that the first thing you have to do is grow. Now we can replicate all of our DNA, and then once we're good, we'll finish growing till we need to stop, and then we'll divide. So mitosis is division. So we grow, synthesize DNA, grow.
That's fine.
Yep.
You just want us to like take notes on what you said.
So all the things we learned here was, this is a cell cycle, this is our cell growth. If there's any checkpoints that aren't correct, that is cancer. Okay, let's go to the next slide. Nope, this is good. Okay, y'all, look up here. These are stages that you must memorize. So, cell stages are, now I hate that these pictures are so wonky. Ready? Here is the start. So what I want you to do is draw a line right here and put start. And then you're going to draw an arrow that goes around. You could draw many arrows, it's fine. This is just the direction. Okay, and that, so then this right here is end. Okay, so based on where we put start on there, what is the name of the first phase when it starts? Well, interphase, good. So guys, just like an inner tube, this kind of looks like an inner tube. All of this is what we described above, growth, replication, growth. So interphase is what we described earlier. Remember when it was like it would first grow, then it would synthesize, then it would finish growing. All of that is interphase. Okay? Then mitosis is when it divides. Cell divides evenly in all the material. And cytokinesis is the division of cytoplasm and it splits. So guys, what I would explain this as, I wish I had a big squishy. This would be my example. Okay. If y'all ever made pizza and like made that dough, you're making the dough, you're adding your ingredients, that's interphase. Then say if you had to split that dough in half, you would split it, and as you were pinching it off, that is cytokinesis. Cytokinesis is when it actually pinches off, and I'll show you a picture. So the cell grows, everything has to divide evenly on both sides, and then it pinches off, okay? Did y'all do this in middle school though?
No.
Let's look at more. Ready? Okay, so once again, y'all, this is such a weird picture. You need to take your pen or pencil, put a line right here, right where G1, and this is start. Okay, and it goes around this way. So, what is my first stage? Good. All of this is interphase, then mitosis and cytokinesis. So let's talk about interphase again. Ready? G1, cell contents, excluding chromosomes, are duplicated. So it seems like everything in the cell, including ribosomes, all the things, duplicates. You're growing, okay? GO, cell cycle arrest. Okay, so these checkpoints are called GO. Y'all look up here. If I would do a G and do an O in this direction, what does that look like?
A black hole sucking the gene.
A ring.
A halo. Because you go to heaven because you die. Okay, so think about it like that. If you go into a cell cycle and you get arrested and the cell needs to terminate, that's called GO. You're going to heaven. The cell's going to die. Okay, it's good to have checkpoints, but if you're actually arrested or terminated, you're GO, you're in heaven. You terminated. That's okay. So, ready? We grow, 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 grow. Synthesis. Each of the 46 chromosomes is duplicated. Replicate DNA, replicate DNA, replicate DNA. Now what do? We grow again. The cell double checks the duplicated chromosomes for errors, making any needed repairs and grow, grow, grow. Now here's the mitosis where we split in half, and cytokinesis where we actually pinch off. We're just not going to work. We are going to get to a foldable, but because we're doing that lab tomorrow, I want to lecture a little bit more. So everybody look up here. Make sure I can see your heads. Okay. Excuse me. Here are some words y'all have to know. Somatic cell. Say it, somatic.
Somatic.
That's something that the biology test likes to use, and that's a body cell.
I think I seen it last year in my test.
Yep, a body cell. Okay? Each somatic cell contains the same number of chromosomes. That's all of your body. What is the one cell that males have? That is half of the DNA. What is sperm? What is the one cell that females have that is half of the DNA? The egg. So every cell in your body is a somatic cell unless it's a sex cell, which is called a gamete. Say gamete.
Gamete.
Say game on. It's like you just see somebody you like and you're like, game on. That's my boyfriend, girlfriend, okay? So gamete, I'm at the bottom, is a sex cell and it only has half of the DNA. Sperm cannot live unless it fertilizes an egg. Sperm is half of the DNA, egg is half. Only when half and half come together, they will form a whole. Okay. Excuse me. That's why sperm die after they come out of the body. That's why eggs have to be passed during the menstrual cycle and die when they come out of the body. Okay, up here, last thing, look up here. Mitosis. Say mitosis.
Mitosis.
Point to your toes. Are they sexy? No. Mitosis is not for sex cells. That's called meiosis. Say meiosis. Now say meo baby. So meiosis is for sex cells. Meiosis sounds sexy. Mitosis is not sexy. They are for regular somatic cells. Okay. Everybody look up here. Excuse me. So, here is interphase. This is where we're growing and replicating. Now, do y'all see these two yellow things? These are called spindle fibers, and what they're doing is they're pushing the cell kind of open to have two different polar sides, like a north pole and a south pole. Then they have these little fibers that shoot out, and they're trying to connect to the DNA or the chromosomes, and they line them up in the middle. Now, if you and your sister or brother had to divvy up some Halloween candy, would you trust them? Like, hey, give me half. Oh, here's half. No. You would line it up in the middle of the table, and y'all would take half, and then they would take half. So ready? Spindle fibers come out. They take their fingers, hook to half, and then bring their half back. So ready? Interphase. Prophase. Also, if you look really close, we'll look close. There's no nucleus anymore. The nucleus is falling apart. Look up here. Meta, middle phase. Ana, away. They're being pulled away. Tila, 2 new nuclei are formed, and this is cytokinesis where they get pushed apart or cleaved apart. So that's going to be our second foldable. Hold on. Everybody look up here. Okay, prophase. Here's our spindle fibers about to go to separate sides, and also look at the nucleus is coming apart. Meta, middle, where are they lined up in? Where are they lined up in? Middle. Anaphase, they're being pulled away from each other. Telophase, 2 new cells are forming. And cytokinesis, look up here. This is where it actually cleaves. Cleaves. You cleave the cell in 2. That's going to help you for tomorrow. So let's go to our foldable. Okay. First person in every row, come up here and grab enough from your row. Don't knock my phone though. How many? Do enough for y'all 3. Stockton, how many?
Doctor.
Oh, sorry. Lydia, I'm going to have you get one for the boys that don't listen. The crippled boys back there.
Yeah, the crippled boys
Can't
back
help
there.
themselves.
Y'all crippled.
Okay? And then how much for
What'd
that
you say?
side of the room? 4 of y'all?
Okay.
Let me do 4. I bet you I could get 4. Okay. Thank you, Jada. Could you pass these out to y'all 4 girls over there?
Yeah. Because unlike the boys, I don't have legs.
I'm telling you. Okay, y'all. Ready? Make sure you have your 3 colored highlighters, or you can borrow from a friend, that's okay.
Tomorrow I'm going to glue my wrist shut.
You're gonna glue it still?
I feel like I should, because it won't stay shut. This is the second time it happened. The first time it happened, it goes back. Well, I'm not here. The other person, my son, who sent myself out the door, so she couldn't come here, because all of germ takers, germ makers.
What did you say? Oh, because those.
Yeah, and the germ takers and makers.
Okay, guys. So first thing we're going to do is we are going to hold this foldable in front of us like this, and then on the dotted lines, fold these down almost to make, you know, that game that you play like this. So we're going to hold it and fold it on the lines towards the middle. If you don't know where the middle is, you can technically fold the foldable in half both ways. So if you would fold it in half both ways, the middle, you could see the middle, but so ready? We are folding.
There's a lot of them like that?
Yep, all 4 sides.
Wait, it's not looking alright.
It should look approximately like a circle. The square turns into a circle.
Yeah.
Mine turned into just a small square. Dude, shut up.
Yeah, dude. Wait.
And mine turned into
Aw.
a circle.
Look at how you do.
This place.
So retarded.
That's okay. Okay, y'all, so this is the deal. With probably your yellow light highlighter, I do want you to highlight this whole yellow area. Y'all, this is our interphase. When we open it up, we'll see what else all's in interphase. But remember, This interphase is so long because we have to grow, give room for everything, replicate, grow, exactly. Synthesize DNA, synthesize DNA, synthesize DNA, grow. Then we separate everything out and then we divide, okay? So highlight your first area in yellow just like I did. So do that big interface area in yellow like me.
Why does this have to look like this? This one looks like a circle. It looks like
Why is mine ghetto?
some fat person took a bite and just left it.
You know she's recording.
Why does that look like that? Oh, is this going on YouTube?
Alayla will love the commentary. Wait, so if it looks like this, don't be sad. Wait, can I have the yellow?
Yeah, do your yellow like mine, because yellow is the lightest, or usually the lightest color.
Okay, do you mind?
What about pink?
Do you mind with me?
Oh, we just did a new lesson.
This is so satisfying.
Okay, then go back, and I don't really care what you do with the other colors, if you have pink or purple or whatever, but I did want our yellows to match, and then highlight mitosis in one color and cytokinesis in another color.
Yeah, when I come down, people that are British, their cousins are so funny.
So imagine if this is one on YouTube
Sorry, YouTube.
Okay, so you should have all three colors. The largest section is your interphase, where we're growing, replicating, growing. So much is going on there. Mitosis has the most steps, where it's prophase, metaphase, interphase, telophase. And then cytokinesis is when it physically splits it in two. Good.
Is that a blue highlighter right there? Ariana, you may want to use this one. That other blue one is.
So we grow, synthesize more DNA, synthesize more DNA, synthesize more DNA, grow. So by the end of interphase, we are ready to divvy all of our stuff and then split. Okay, when you're done, I'm gonna move this up, and this is the inside. So do not highlight the whole thing. Just keep outline it like I did. Okay, stop what you're doing so I can lecture it. That way anybody can pick up. Now, stop what you're doing. Look up here. I want to see eyeballs. Good. So guys, look up here. If this is the start, by the end of it, you should have two identical cells to the parent. Now look up here. Your toes, mitosis, cell division. This is going to give rise to identical cells as the parent cell. Your sex cells are different. You know why you know? Because your siblings all don't look exactly alike. There's a little bit of diversity amongst male sperm and female eggs when they go through their own process called meiosis, okay? So look up here. We have the start. We grow. Cyto and cell membrane, okay? I say ... checkpoint. If we go into GO like G halo, RIP, okay, we're gonna die, but it's okay because there was probably a mutation. Cell will continue if it corrects or arrests and terminate if error mutation is found. Shh, up here. Synthesize, you copy DNA and organelles. Checkpoint. Are we good, or do we need to go into GO? Okay, G2, grow, more cytoplasm and cell membrane. Checkpoint. Do we go or do we GO? Okay, here's mitosis. We're going to learn in next unit. Ooh.
Oh, we already learned mitosis.
I kind of put it on the board, but we didn't take notes on it. And then cytoplasm divides. Look up here. Make sure you write on there identical daughter cells. This is called the parent cell, and they're all identical. You will have a quiz quizzing you on this stuff. Okay, finish your foldable. This is the last thing we're doing in class. You must show me your completed foldable. Caleb, you got to show me your completed foldable.